Yo, yo, yo. We are here on Monthly Listeners Podcast, and we got a very special guest today.
Woo!
A gentleman that goes by the name of Tim Weber. Done some legendary shit in this industry and is continuing to do some legendary shit. Major champion of independent artists, and not just independent artists, just artists trying to figure it out. And he's done a lot of cool shit. Y'all can look it up, or you can see who he works with. Tim, happy to let you introduce yourself too, if you want to.
No, I mean, it's, as you know, I try to remain more mysterious than having everything out there, so I don't make it easiest for introductions. But first of all, thank you guys for having me. You know how much I enjoy you guys, and I'm very excited for today's convo. But yeah, I think 16 years in the music industry, stumbled into it, and really just started finding a passion for how can I bring value and help artists. And I really enjoy doing it at scale. So I think a lot of people from my trajectory of starting in like the blog era have typically either gone into like the label route or the management route. And just because I didn't want to work with just one roster, I want to help as many as possible. That was really never on the table for me, which led to multiple different businesses and different ways to be able to help. But it all stemmed from trying to help. And as I used to say, and you'll see in my tagline, I call myself a middleman in the music industry because I want to listen to artists' problems with no ulterior motive, not try to sell them anything. And 99% of the time, the solution is connecting them to a person or to a platform that already exists to solve it. And then it's that 1% of times where I can't find the person or the platform that it's like, shit, I got to start a business, which means I got to hire a CEO because I hate business.
Listening to artists' problems, that's a lot of listening.
It's a lot of listening.
We know they got a lot of problems. They can vent, they can complain, but we also know that the music industry is very much a business that is set up on taking advantage of artists.
Definitely.
So I don't really think of y'all as complainers at all. I think the music industry has been stacked against y'all for a long time. It
is, man. It's designed to be confusing.
Yes, it is.
Well, shit, we're going to get into it. Instead of rock, paper, scissors today, we're going to pick a card. Whoever's got the highest card gets to ask their questions first. So we'll all pick a card. Max, could you also turn my headphones up?
Yeah.
Appreciate you. I'm not hearing nothing. Check. Yeah, I think we're good there.
Okay,
you could
cool.
probably turn me up a little bit more.
Gotcha.
Thank you, sir.
How's yours, Tim?
Mine's wonderful. I got it.
Cool.
Copy. All right, the cards. We need to grab
Cards.
the
I got
cards.
it.
Okay, cool.
Did you guys already shuffle? Can I do a quick shuffle?
They might
I
be.
don't
You
trust
got,
you.
yeah. How's your
I don't
shuffling
Put them
trust
shuffle
you.
skills
I don't
on,
trust you.
actually. Okay.
There we go.
Smooth with it. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
All right. We'll let everybody's picking one.
Yep. Boom.
Pick a card, any card. Okay,
Boom.
I'm cool with that. Feel solid.
All right. Take this one.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, we'll show it to the camera, and then we'll look at it too. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
What
you
y'all
got?
got?
8.
Got 10, 8.
I'm
Six.
winning.
All
I'm
right.
last.
All right.
I'm last. Get out of here.
All right, so y'all know the deal. We're gonna ask questions. We answer them as quick as possible. One thing not to do when making content.
Start with the music.
Quick, bro.
Try to be someone you're not.
Yeah. You're saying not being that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How can an artist maintain staying an artist and not being an influencer?
I mean, realistically, just have just as much fun making the content as you do making the music.
I feel like they go hand in hand. I don't think it's necessarily bad to be I feel like if you're successful on social media, you're an artist and an influencer, kind of. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Okay, we'll dive into that. I partially agree. What makes you stop and watch a new artist's content?
I feel like I was entertained first. So there's something about the content that whether it's making me smile, making me emotional, making me curious, whatever the emotion is, something outside first.
Cool.
That's entertaining.
I think it has the same, but it has to do with, like, of course, the music, if it's music content, and how it looks.
Yeah.
So same thing.
Cool.
Pretty much.
Max, your go. You had
Okay.
8, right?
Yep.
Damn,
All right.
you got a full page right there. Shit.
I'm prepared, bro. Slightly.
Are those
We got
3
short essay questions,
All
yeah.
yep.
Okay. This is actually a quick one. Quality of content versus quantity of content.
I'll take consistency over both, but I would take quantity over quality. For our social, we're specifically talking about social content.
social content.
I would say, I'd say
Yeah.
consistency is one, and then quantity.
Yeah, I say especially when you're starting out, quantity over quality, because that's the only way you find your way to quality.
Amen.
How can an artist that is really looking to get into content and like posting consistently and frequently limit burnout, or just like in the business itself as well? Like how can an artist limit burnout?
I think the 2 biggest things, one is focusing on what's in your control, not what's out of your control. So focusing on the input and what you're actually able to control, such as how many times you're posting, and using those as the metrics. And number 2 is don't start at a place that's not ready to scale to. So if you're posting twice a week, starting by trying to post every other day is great. Don't immediately jump to twice a day.
Yeah.
Slowly work your way up, and then make sure you're focusing on what you can control.
Yeah, Tim killed that. I don't have too much to add other than, focus on what you can control and find purpose in it. If you find purpose in it, you'll continue to do it.
Okay. Blaine kind of took that one. What makes an artist a hardworking artist?
I mean, I kind of liked it when I walked in here when you were talking about you have countless failures or countless bad things, but wins that are bigger. I think to me, it's the resiliency. It's the fact that every day the music industry gives you 100 reasons to quit, 100 reasons to think you're not good enough, that this isn't the right thing. And a hardworking artist is somebody that still shows up, still does it all because they're crazy enough and believe that this is what they're meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what separates a hardworking or what makes a hardworking artist is an artist who does something for bigger than just themselves.
I love that. And that's hard to do with something that involves egos so much.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, mine.
Yep.
All right.
These aren't Chat GPT generated, are they?
They are not. I mean, you just told me about 5 minutes before we started rolling, and I was like, you know what? What would I ask myself? All right, we all know that the first 1 to 3 seconds of a video is important. That's called a hook normally. What makes a good hook?
I wish I could give you a good answer, but I'm always trying to figure that out. But I think like something I'm really trying to get into is a visual hook, like something that snaps and like kind of just catches them for a good 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I think one of the greatest hooks I've seen is Connor Price doing the around the globe thing and picking a thing. It's brilliant. We're working on something kind of like it, so shout out Connor Price for that. I think that is one of the best artist visual hooks, or hooks, period, because I know it's supposed to be a quick answer, but
Good.
you instantly know kind of what he's doing. He's spinning a globe, so you build a curiosity. Then he tells you what he's doing, and then you're like, what's it gonna be? Like, he's gonna find an artist from this place. What's it gonna be? So it pulls you in, and then it sets you up to know what you're gonna get in a way, and you'll wait to see what you get.
Amen. And I think, like, as you said, something bigger than yourself. In a way, the person he's picking from all those countries he's landing on is always like a nobody that he's helping put on the map. So it's not even just about him. It's about, hey, let's see who I'm going to put on the map from this country.
Right. And like, put me on. Like, you're about to pick somebody from Zambia or something. It's like, I don't know any artists from there. Let me see.
I love that. All right. So we all know all of the terrible parts about social media for our brains, for just our mental well-being. But if you had to describe social media in a positive way using 3 words, what would those words be? And it doesn't have to exactly be 3 words.
Okay,
but
so
3 things.
and we're just staying positive.
Just staying positive.
Connection, legacy, inspiration.
That's great.
The first word that popped to my mind is connection, so I'll use connection too.
Minus 10 points.
I don't know. I'll say. I was gonna say reach, but it's kind of the same thing. Relatability, in a way. You can find
Yeah.
people that are like-minded,
Yep.
I like that.
and then just being heard, like
Yeah.
being able
Being
to,
heard or seen, yeah.
Yeah.
being heard and seen.
Yeah, I think I'll dive in. Now we've answered the questions. Let's dive into some of these. So I kind of want to just build off of that.
Wait, was that the second question or the third?
I think it was the third question.
Let me see.
Am I wrong? Maybe that was the
know.
I
second
think
question.
that was only the second
Yeah,
question.
Oh, my
second.
bad. I'm jumping the gun.
I was gonna stop you. If you didn't say anything, I was gonna be like, sweet. All right, yeah, I'll do one more that's relatively quick, but just because all I knew was that we were talking content, and typically I think social media. What's the difference between marketing and advertising to y'all?
I think marketing can take place without spending money. Marketing is the whole campaign behind it, pushing yourself, nurturing your fan base. Like that comes there's part of marketing that's in the email or in grouped where you're not spending money. You're just doing what you can to share yourself with the people who are interested in what you're doing and finding a way to bring value to their life. That's part of the marketing. Advertising, I think, is more detailed. It's a pillar of the marketing, but it's more detailed and it's more. I think marketing reaches this broad aspect. Advertising, it's best to have goals that you're judging those goals by. A lot of times with marketing, it's like sometimes it's a 20, 30-year payoff that you can't exactly measure until it happens, and it's just part of what you do.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. But I kind of look at them like the same at the same time. Like they're pretty much getting the same thing done. But advertising just seems to me a little more like, I don't know, it seems slightly faker or like forced in a way. But you're kind of doing the same thing when you're doing both. So, but I agree with him at the same time too.
Yeah,
I
I think advertising, like,
I look at them very similar.
because if you have a great marketing plan, advertising is putting dollars behind that plan and like seeing how you can get that to more people. So it's like, you said it's kind of like, what was the term you used? Like it's kind of more like superficial.
Yeah,
kind of.
kind of like fake, not fake, but
I
like,
can understand that, but if I have a product that I know is going to change your life, if I know, like, let's say it's a supplement or whatever, or maybe music, and I know this is going to change your life, it's selfish for me to not put money behind that.
Yes. For me, I just think about it in like hashtag ad. You know what I mean? And that stuff, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then marketing is kind of just like the overall aspect
And
of trying to
adding to this is like adding to this. I think that
quick answers only.
I think that the more you can make your advertisements not feel like an advertisement.
Yeah.
If you can make your marketing plan feel organic and grassroots and everything like that, then your advertisements, you put money behind it, and you're like paying to be in front of people, but it's a genuine. It's not like sham wow or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah. I want to hear your answer to this.
I mean, I don't know if there's a right or wrong. I mean, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's books on it. I'm sure you could go to school and probably graduate and learn more about it than this dumbass who drops out. I like what you said about the numbers part, because I do believe if I'm hiring somebody to run ads for me, I want to see how much you spent, how many clicks you got, what was the return. It is pretty numerical in a way. I also think it's way more around problem solution, aka normally like one product or one thing when it comes to advertising, because you're trying to relate to somebody like, have you spilled something? This is the right paper towel. It's more absorbent. Like you're saying a problem solution. I think to me, marketing is kind of can be a little bit more high level, where you're not even sure where the revenue streams are coming. You're establishing like the brand, the following, the feel. That being said, I do think they go hand in hand. I think the advertisements typically feel like ads.
Yeah.
Unless you're looking for a solution to that problem, you're like, why are you marketing me this? Why are you advertising me this? I don't want it.
Yeah.
Versus when you're on the lookout for a new camera and all of a sudden they show the DJI's up 50% off and you see that on your TikTok It's like, damn, okay, I know it's an ad, but this is exactly
That's
what
what
I
I'm
want.
looking for. Yeah.
Versus like Red Bull, really good with like the marketing aspect of like, we're not going to tell you that you're crashing at the office and you need this. We're going to be like, we have a fucking badass brand and you want to be
Right.
associated
But
with it.
their ad spend has gone into like developing that marketing to where like, you know, we all know Red Bull gives you wings. Like
Yep.
we've all seen the commercials. So
Totally.
they're advertising that shit. But because their marketing plan is so in depth and because you see a motherfucker doing triple backflips on a bike and
Yep.
jumping out of a plane or whatever.
Yeah, they're the perfect mix of the
Yeah,
advertising.
they're
And
brilliant.
they think of themselves as a marketing company, but they don't look at themselves as marketing a product, which
Yeah.
is fascinating. It's marketing like a lifestyle, and they have metrics to be able to see by it because you only sell one thing, energy drinks. It's
Yeah.
not like they're also selling a car and they're also selling something else.
Yeah. I didn't know they had a
it's
record
fascinating.
label though. They have a
Yeah.
record label.
Yeah, they've Mike did a song that was with
Okay.
a Red Bull artist.
Ooh.
Yeah, Sad Alex. She did put out 2 or 3 songs with Red Bull.
So how should an artist think about it? Think about marketing and advertising and kind of post like for their brand in those ways. Post on social media with that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nick has some great videos and points on this, especially with his trajectory. I think you don't even worry about advertising until you're starting to have a moment, and then you kind of figure out it's kind of like pouring gas on the fire.
Yeah.
And it's really, the nice part is with today's climate, it's really easy to A/B test with not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like you can be spending $25 to $50 a day and get some really good, valuable feedback. in
Honestly,
terms
even
of the
less than
metric.
that sometimes, depending on
Yeah, I mean, you could do $5 a day, but I think that like that's the last part of it is really the advertising. I think the marketing part is the part that's really hard for artists to think of because so much of their identity comes from being an artist. And so much of really good marketing is the entire person, brand, lifestyle.
Yeah.
And the reason that artists, I think, so many of them are so bad at content is because they're so insecure in who they are outside of being an artist.
Yeah, 100%. Yo, I just had this idea come to me because I know that like for businesses, so much of the marketing is what problem do you solve, right? And for me, being an artist, it's always been challenging for me to understand what problem does my music solve. Like, it's not fucking like curing a toothache. It's not, you know, all these things. But I just had this moment of realization of like, what problem does it solve for me? Okay, how do I get that to people? Because I know what problems it's solving for me a lot of ways. So how do I share that?
It's a great way to think about it.
I mean, I think in general, the arts, the fine arts, there is something about them in the fact that words sometimes are just not enough. And like, it's been part of the human experience that like the complexities of our emotions, of our desires, I would say 99% of us are 99% the same. Like we all want to be loved, feel underappreciated, feel insecure, feel overly valued. Yeah, there's all different things that we all feel at different times that gets really hard to just talk our ways through. And I think really good artists can use their talents as a form of therapy for themselves to express whatever those things that they're going through, love, heartache, breakups, insecurities, all of that. And I think to people that aren't that talented, it still fills that same therapy type void. And it doesn't have to be therapy in a negative way. I mean, shit, you should go to therapy after you have your biggest wins so you don't get cocky. Like, like you should still be dancing to songs, just like you should still be going to talk stuff out. So I think for me, rather than, as you said, like trying to fabricate what's the problem that the music is solving, it's really like there doesn't even really need to be a problem. The problem is going to be if I don't do this. Because if I don't let this come out of me, if I don't, this is just a part of who I am, then I'm denying a part of who I am, and now we got problems.
Yeah. Yep. So what about artists that are like, what about artists that don't get it and they're like, bro, this is me. People should be interested in it because it's me. I'm me and like I'm the coolest.
I mean,
Ego.
Yeah, that happens all the time, and
they sleeping on me, Tim. I'm the coolest.
yeah. I mean, honestly, the craziest part about the music industry, and I would say there's maybe 2 or 3 artists per generation that are outside of this, your talent means shit. Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Your talent has nothing to do with how much money you're going to make, how many fans you're going to have, any of that. It doesn't. Unless
Facts.
you're a John Bellion, unless you're one of these absolutely rare
Aliens.
But even at that point, they've had moments in their life that line them up
for
like,
that, without
yeah.
a doubt. But I mean, there are certain things of like, you know, the prodigy aspect that's like a Justin Bieber that's able to be that young and that good at so many
Yeah.
different
Facts.
things. Like, that's not everyone. The worst part is there are probably 500 people that were just as talented as Justin Bieber
Yeah,
at that
100%,
age
man.
that
Like,
didn't get it. So
the
like
most-
99%, it does not matter. Anybody
Yeah.
that comes to me, but I'm that good.
Right.
Nobody
the
cares.
most talented artists I've seen in my life are working jobs that they hate right now because they weren't willing to take all the losses. They weren't willing to look foolish. They weren't willing to fully commit. Man, I knew this dude back home. He could freestyle a song that would make you cry. But he wasn't willing to just commit and keep committing.
So what you say that, but like, what does matter then? Like, if the talent doesn't matter, what does?
The number one thing is finding your tribe in an authentic way. Like, just like 99% of it doesn't matter about talent, 99% of people are not going to like your music and not going to be interested in it. It is
Yeah.
about finding the right 1% in the right ways and not giving up till you do. And finding that takes a shit ton of time for people. And like I know everybody talks about the Jelly Roll example because he's the most recent of somebody that got that big. But like what we were talking about earlier with not giving up, that's like the number one thing of being a hardworking artist that has the best chance at making it. And it's realistically because you have the best chance of finding your tribe. And that can be because you've thrown so many shots with the quantity on social media. It's undeniable who you are. And eventually that those people that resonate with who you authentically are going to see the video because you took enough shots.
Yep.
It could eventually be like, hey man, after 5 years, I'm trying not to get burnout. They told me I have to have hobbies. I'm doing Legos on the side. Well, now I'm starting to reach
Hey,
out
shout
to
out
the
Legos.
Reddit community that is the Lego subthread, telling them I'm an artist that loves it. They can use my music in their YouTube videos or whatever they're doing for Lego content. And like,
Yeah.
it naturally eventually starts to work. But the problem with people that have that ego in the beginning is they believe the talent's enough or they believe everybody's going to love them. And like, that's just not the case. Like I don't know the exact stats on the Thriller album, but I mean, that's considered arguably the greatest album or one of the greatest albums of all time. And that album, the first year it was released in the United States, when there's 300 million people in the United States, 99% didn't buy the album.
Yeah, quote unquote flopped.
Yeah, 99% of America said, yeah, the greatest album of all time, not worth my money. And like, everybody wants to be that.
Yeah. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to Jelly Roll and also a legend who often doesn't get recognized as Haystack. And I feel like Haystack's a Nashville legend. I remember being like 10, 11 years old and listening to them. And Jelly Roll was on some whole different shit. It was like trunk music and like some real gutter shit. But I want to tap into like when artists do find that 1%. It's so easy for us to get 50 comments telling us positive things about our music, and then we focus on the 1% negative. If we have found our 1%, let's say, you know, you have 1,000 followers or however many, and there's, you know, 10 people really fucking with you. As an artist, you're like, I want to get to the numbers. But what can an artist do with their content to make sure that they're servicing that 1%? Because that 1% can grow as you reach more. But we're so quick to be like, no, I got to reach more people, rather than, yo, there's 10 people commenting saying they love this shit.
Yeah, the number one thing is don't think that you're going to bring value to those 10 people that are commenting with content on social media. You got to get them off social media. Social media is to get your awareness up, to get more people interested in you, get more people curious. If they're curious, if they're interested in you and they want more, you got to get them off social media. That's where you bring them back.
Get them back to that owned media.
Like something
Right.
like a group. I mean, shit,
Yep.
that's why we're
Yep.
passionate about group. I mean, it doesn't have to be that. It can be a Discord community. It can be anywhere that you naturally want to be. But like, I compare it, and I know that like people will push back because you only have hopefully one wife, or in most places. But like, if the problem is right now with artists that they're relying for, number one, everything's on social media, but number two, once they start to get those comments, they immediately start selling or asking those people for stuff. And I consider it just like, you just got the girl's number at the bar.
Yeah,
the first thing you do is don't buy the ring and show up the next
Facts.
day. You spend years.
Nurture that shit.
Nurture that.
Yeah.
Treat her like a fucking princess, and you better not stop doing it till the day you die. But you don't immediately go to, hey, can you buy me dinner now? Hey, can you rub my feet? Hey, can you do this for me? You literally show up every day nurturing it, not knowing if it's going to be the one, not knowing, and that's part of it. And if you got 10 fans right now commenting and you get them in your group, those 10 people are the only people you give your emotional energy to. Those are the ones that you got to start dating right now. And the best part of those 10 people, you really do that well, a year from now, they're going to have told 10 more people.
Exactly.
And that's without the social
That's
media.
the best form of marketing.
And that is, and
Everybody
and
wants
the
that.
problem is that takes 10 years.
Yeah.
That takes a long time for it to
Yeah.
come. But if you love music and you cannot burn out, you cannot do that. So like social media and content is so beautiful because while you sleep, more people are going to be curious about you.
Yeah.
If you're playing the game right. But every second that you think this is also my outlet to reach people and to nurture, is you've lost. You've lost the game.
So I got a couple questions on this, but I'm gonna start with this one. So obviously we know taking it to owned media is the way to go. But I've known so many artists who, get to 1 million followers or whatever it is, and they just keep that same level of nurturing on social media. What mindset switch do they need to have to take it to something that they can actually own, to take it to something where they can do a different form of nurturing, where it's not just a freestyle video or it's not just whatever the piece of content is? Like, there's artists who are hurting for money, have millions of followers, and aren't willing to take that step to own media and to provide another insight into their stuff. And at that point, too, like, I know artists who've provided enough nurturing to ask something of their fans, but they don't. It's just streaming. Mm-hmm. And, like, as we know, Nick D, like, he makes a living off of just streaming, and that's fucking incredible. But I know artists with similar followings, but their streaming numbers aren't holding that. But if they reached out to their top 1-10%, they would support them. So how do artists shift from, like, hey, I'm putting out a lot of social media, but I want to bring this to a deeper stage?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. I would say number one is there's a real problem right now. I think you brought it up at the very beginning with the term influencer. There's, for some reason, people associate your follower count with being an influencer. And realistically, I'll say this in the not me bragging about myself at all. I think I have 2,000 followers. I have friends that have 600,000 to 1 million followers that I would say my average post gets triple the engagement.
Wow.
And like, they have 500 times more. How am I getting 120 likes on, or 120 comments on mine, and you're getting 20? And to me, your influence is you're an influence to be able to affect another person. Yeah. Whether it's emotionally, whether it's to get them to take an action, whatever it is. Being an entertainer does not mean that you're an influencer. And that is the first step. The second step of like, how do you get them to realize it? Man, if you learn that, please let me know, because right now, it's the only thing that I see is they get an ego check. And like, typically it's something like, man, I have these 3 million followers. I want to go do a tour. And it's like, great.
You show that room, and there's 50
man.
motherfuckers in there. And
then you go, all right, well, you had 50 people show up. How are you going to get those 50 people to show up tomorrow? Mm-hmm. How are you going to reach them? Well, I'm going to put it on my Instagram. If you came out last night. That's not how shit compounds. You got to start with somewhere that's in your control and be able to build upon it. And like, you see artists all the time that get an ego check as soon as they want to do something or try to do something, and they're at the mercy of social media. And like, that's why social media is not a communication tool. Everybody knows you reach like 3% of your followers, and it's getting worse.
It's an awareness
So like,
tool.
if that's the only thing you're using to communicate, and 97% of people aren't seeing it, and the 3% that are, probably 90% of those are passive, you may only actually have 100 fans.
Yeah.
You may have 1 million followers and 100 fans,
Right.
but they don't want to know that.
So-
they would rather live in ignorance.
Yeah.
Until they're like, but I really want to tour.
Let me
Right.
ask this: like, at what point can an artist shift towards that community structure rather than just social media? Like, is there a too soon, or are you kind of starting off like a brand new artist starts dropping music consistently, posting content? At what point do you kind of tell them maybe you should do this?
Yeah, that's a great question. So to me, it's one of those the first time I sit down with an artist, I always say there's a million ways to make $1 million. Here's just some high level of the things that are possibly out there that we could be doing. Here's some of the things that we need to be doing. So like of all the things we could be doing, we could be doing merch, we could be doing tours, you could be doing high streaming numbers. You could be writing songs and selling them to other people. You could be getting sync placements. You could end up doing like brand deals. You could end up being an actor. Everything's on the table right now. But the number one thing that I think realistically shows when an artist is ready for it.
I was
good?
trying to get that tightened up for you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
The number one thing to me that when an artist is ready for that is when they've gotten efficient and consistent with the content.
Got it.
Because there's no sense in having a home to nurture people if you're not in a rhythm with consistently making and posting content that's getting people to want more. So like the first step is you got to get people to want more.
Yeah.
In the beginning, is it okay that you send them to stream a song or whatever? Like it is. But there should always be some type of data capture right before you get to that point. That's why I think the Laylos and the communities and all these other data capture tools are a good start in fixing a real problem. But I also think it's putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound because even though you're collecting the data, it costs you money to reach them, which means you're not going to nurture them. You're not going to be like, hey, because you stream my song, I want to do a 5-minute FaceTime call with you. You're going to be like, because it costs me money to send this text, you better buy this shirt.
Right.
And like, that's not the dating somebody. That's not nurturing a relationship.
Right.
So to me, it's like the very first parts are you got to be able to consistently and efficiently make music and get it to the stage that you like it. Then you got to be able to consistently and efficiently be able to make content that gets people to want more. And then as soon as you've gotten those two things in rhythm, now you have the place to drive them to, because there's always going to be more music and more content that's never getting posted. So that's the stuff that you start with the nurturing. But if I'm only making one song every 2 months and putting that one song out there, I don't have extra songs to be giving these people that want more. If I only have one music video that I'm putting together and I'm only shooting one type of content, then I'm not really at the luxury of being like, here's behind the scenes of my shoot or anything else. So like, as soon as you get to the place where those are efficient, every day I tell artists, if you chose this crazy ass lifestyle, the goal is you should be waking up and only doing dope shit that you think is dope. That's it. You should not be thinking of, is somebody else going to like it? You should not be thinking of, is this going to make me money? And at the end of that day, with all the dope shit that you tried and you made with your friends, whether it's music, content, art, whatever it is, then you need a little bit of a focus group that says, what of this shit today should we put out to the public? And then you start using those people you're nurturing as that little focus group of like, yo, here's all the shit I did today. It's not right for me to post this demo on social media because nobody's going to like it. It's not polished. But if you've been wanting more and then you want to tell me that this is good and I should finish it, well, let's fucking do it.
That's what I struggle with, because sometimes where I'm lacking in the content creation, like I don't have enough. So I'm like, this is the content I have for today, so I'm just going to put this out. But in all reality, it's kind of shit. You know what I mean? So it's hard to balance that.
So I think that, how about this? I have an opinion on this, but I'd love to hear your guys, because right now we're talking content. And I think there's a fundamental difference at a human level between Instagram and TikTok in particular, which is typically the two places artists are focusing most of their time.
Yep.
To you guys, what do you think at like a fundamental level is the difference between Instagram and TikTok? Do you post on both of them? If you do, is it the same shit? if you only care about one of them, why is it only that one? Or
I'll go first. I think Instagram is more polished, and then TikTok is kind of just like, I don't know, you're just throwing way more at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
I think that's 100% right. But do you have a feeling for why that may be?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what the feeling is, but I know for us, TikTok is, we can get 5 posts up a day and we know it's going to deliver results for us because the music is good. People are on there, I think, more for discovery. Whereas Instagram, I feel like people are on there to be wowed. Like, they want to see content that's going to stand out for them or some shit that they can just kind of like binge watch. So I think for me, our Instagram, I feel like, is more polished than our TikTok, but we focus on our TikTok more right now because it's driving more results. Why that is, I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but I know that we can take 5 full videos from a song, cut it into 5 different sections of that song, throw the same 10 on-screen headlines on all of that, and have 125 pieces or 250 pieces of content, and we can put that out. If we put that same shit out on Instagram, it doesn't do as well.
I think you guys are exactly right on everything that you said, and here's my hypothesis on why that is. It's twofold, and I think the hypothesis is that you're right. TikTok is about the discovery, the entertainment, that side. Instagram about the quality of content and the engagement in that side. The way that Instagram was started, even though it has pivoted, is to follow your friends, to keep up with your friends. Your friends are going to hate you if you're posting 5 times a day the same type of shit. They stop engaging with it, and it hurts that algorithm. TikTok, nobody opens that app while they're taking a shit to see what their friends are doing.
Yeah.
Facts.
TikTok, the whole point is to see the most entertaining shit the internet has to offer.
Yeah.
And it learns your algorithm of what you think is entertaining. And here's the number one thing to think about in the difference of the algorithms. TikTok picks out whether or not they're going to show your content to more people by only showing it to non-followers, people that don't know you. So you're trying to entertain non-followers, which means the more raw, authentic shit works. Instagram figures out whether or not they're going to show your shit to people based on engagement from your current followers.
Wait, so TikTok doesn't, they show your content to non-followers first?
Between 250 and 2,500, depending on how it's performing, 0 followers. 0 people that follow you.
Wow.
That's
I didn't
how
even
it
know
starts. Instagram only shows it to your current followers based on your engagement is how many more of your followers will get to see it. Based on that, how many then more people will see it.
Well,
so on Instagram, you're not making content to be discovered.
Yeah.
I'm making content that I want the people that know me to engage with, and hopefully they become my discovery mechanism. They're sharing it to their stories. They're sharing it with their friends. As soon as they do that enough, the algorithm goes, boop, now let's make this discoverable on Instagram.
Yeah.
TikTok does the exact opposite. You got to start by first making people that don't know you do it. And nobody realistically that knows you is going to be mad that they missed a TikTok video because you're posting 5 times a day.
Yeah.
So they just got to see that little thing. TikTok is truly entertainment, and I believe Instagram is way more about you have to know your core audience.
Yeah.
And they're going to be your street team.
Yeah.
People that do Instagram really well, like the mics and stuff, are the people that understand I am making this content on this platform for the Steves, for my people. I am not making it to try to get to 5 million Instagram followers. I'm making it because I love this and I think the Steves are. That's the same reason Mike doesn't even have to log in or check his TikTok. Because it doesn't matter. I have 5 editors, make fucking AI videos. Just fucking get the shit up.
Yep.
So I think there's a huge difference between the two. And I think it starts to simplify. I don't even need to post once a day on Instagram. I do need to have one thing on my story at all times so people aren't forgetting my name when they open the app. And I do need to make sure that when I'm putting it on Instagram, it is engaging. I fuck with it, and I think that my friends, family, and fans are gonna fuck with it.
So always switch the content up depending on what platform you're posting it on.
Well, think
Yeah.
of it from that lens. It sounds like.
I mean, to me, sometimes they may work on both. And I would say that for like a Connor. Like when you get to a supreme level of content,
Wait, he's putting
it
in-
makes it both entertaining for new people right away, and it makes it entertaining and familiar for the people that have been there from day one. The problem is most people, the amount of reps, and like he was a child actor. So like, and also that idea to spin the globe is technically Breeze too. So like, shout out Brianna. Like it takes a team. It takes decades of fucking working.
You have to think of like people's focus and attention and how people digest the story and all of that shit. And he's really scripting those things out.
Yep.
He's not just turning the phone on and being like, all right, I'm gonna figure this out. He's like planning ahead of time. And so I think there's so much value in planning your content ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I think also understanding why you're doing the content. Like you shouldn't be doing the content just because you want people to hear this one song.
Yeah.
Like if you did that, congratulations. You have a song that got 1 million streams and you still have nobody that knows you, nobody that's going to buy a ticket, nobody that cares.
Yeah.
But you got the little momentary ego boost.
Right. Right. And that shit's
hit.
going to fade quick. That
Exactly.
dopamine hit going to be gone. You're going to be feeling lower than before.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. It's kind of vague, but anyway, let's say you have an artist and they have a very small social media following, maybe like 1,000 followers across all platforms, but you've heard their music. They have a catalog of really good music that you feel like can connect with people. What would your first steps be?
Honestly, it'd be either to have beers or coffee or something, just sit down with the artist to feel like I can try to get to know them. I would probably also audit what content have they been trying. Why is this catalog of music so good and the following not? More times than not, it's because they have tried on the socials or they burned out or never really gave it a full thought. But as we've said, knowing how important the like hook in the beginning and everything outside of the music is, I got to start to figure out who that person is so I can start to think of who their tribe might be. And then we start to try to have fun about how do we find creative ways to market this music authentically you to that tribe. And like a good example of that is somebody like a Nate Good. That Nate, even though he wrote and produced and did half of Sycamore with Nick D and like he's in those circles, he's not as entertaining, bubbly, and stuff naturally in front of the camera. And like the reason the stand with the mic in the street videos worked for Nick D was because everybody knew him as the funny guy from a podcast that already went viral. So like it wasn't the Mike series that did it. It was having 3 million followers about being funny with your best friend that people are like, the funny guy makes music? Let me listen to this.
Hey, let's hope that works out for us, man.
Exactly. It could. But with Nate, it wasn't. So like then it boils down to like, Nate's one of my best friends. Who are you as a person? You are unbelievably hardworking that prioritize your family of everybody from newborn kids under 1 all the way up to, probably 9, 10 now. But having multiple kids with a wife, living in Virginia, prioritizing your family, signing an artist development / publishing deal, still putting out a song every week for 52 weeks on Spotify.
Damn.
That he did all of that last year. He got himself an artist development publishing deal, 52 songs in 52 weeks, and was an amazing father and was able to travel to Nashville sometimes.
Wow.
That story, you're going to find your tribe. Because that's the story of a working parent.
Commitment.
That's the story of a parent
that's the blue collar
it's
artist.
the story of the parent that wants to be a good parent but doesn't want to give up on their dreams and still be a human being. So let's make content around that. And it doesn't mean you have to show your kids. It doesn't mean any of that. But it means the hook, we got to start with that. We're not starting with you just going into your country song or you going into this song. And now let's find creative ways to do that. And now he starts to get more entertaining because it's more authentically him. rather than him sitting there being like, I gotta be the funny guy, or I gotta do the corny hook. And it's like, nah, dude, you gotta sit there with a fucking dirty diaper, sniff it, and go, God, can't believe I'm doing this while rapping about whatever. Like, do the shit that you're authentically doing.
And I'll say this too, like we've talked about this on past episodes where it's not easy to look at yourself and kind of break yourself down and I don't know your story in a way, but to have like somebody else kind of help you out with that is very helpful too, because it's hard to like notice all that about yourself.
Yeah, you think you've lived this whole human experience, and so you've got all these dynamic things. That actually, I had another question for you, Tim, is for artists that don't have someone like a Tim Weber in their corner or anyone that can help see them from a different lens. Maybe they're in a small town, there's not a lot of artists. What questions, and there's probably 100 questions, but a few questions that they can ask themselves and maybe write on or ponder to help them understand who they're trying to reach or how to even like get their story across?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And maybe by the time this comes out, I'll try to like write down some more prompts and stuff.
Yeah, no, I kind of just threw that on you.
But like, I would love for there to be like a more list of prompts for you to be able to share with like your community and the people interested in this. There's a lot of times that I'll say like in the beginning, you're trying to promote a song, you're trying to figure out how to get people interested in it and at least wanting to hear the full song. That's the initial part of more. If you made a song that you really love, whoever your support system loved ones are, hang out with them, have fun, and bring them in on the process of coming up with the craziest, stupidest fucking social media ideas. As an example, like Schumach, that we fucking love, had a song, it was called Treading Water. And it's like, get drunk with your fucking boys. Just get drunk with your boys and y'all fucking come up with crazy shit. And eventually they come up with the idea of let's fucking throw him in a pool with his clothes on and he drowns because it's ironic about treading water. But it's really just the boys being like, let's throw a boy in a pool.
Yeah.
And that content is fucking super entertaining.
Yeah.
You're watching somebody get thrown in a pool and starts drowning. And the song is called Treading Water. Fucking don't overthink it. Like literally just have fun.
Follow what excites you.
Exactly. And if you wake up one day and you go, I have to do social media content, fuck that, you lost that day. If you wake up and go, I get to do social media content, that's how it should be. You should love the song enough that you get to look at, just like when you have no idea for a song and you get to the studio and you want to make one. How lucky am I to get to do this today? Yeah. And that's why the efficiency matters, because you can't force it, but you can make sure that you structure time to give it a real shot. And it doesn't need to be sitting there with a pen and a pad and treating it like a business, but it does need to be, I'm gonna get together with the boys once a month. They're gonna be my brainstorm. Or those 100 fans or 10 fans that have been commenting on it, I'm gonna do a Zoom with them once a month. They give me my social ideas. Like, just don't do it all on your own.
Yeah.
Don't make you think that you should be able to sit there with prompts and questions and figure out who you are and make authentic stuff. Bring in people that want to help you, that want to support you. And if you don't have people that want to help you and want to support you, get your ass to the artist community.
Yeah. Hey, yo, I actually was going to shout y'all out. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now.
Nice.
Man, y'all definitely need to check out the artist community. No, the artist community has it's been like a charging station for us. At times where, like, you know, obviously we're making the music, we're always doing that, but at times where we're confused on what to do or we feel like we don't have a connection or whatever it is, it's like we tap in with the artist community and we get real feedback on our music. We get to see how people actually react to this shit. Y'all listen to the whole fucking song. It's not like just 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Y'all give genuine opinions. If a song is like not where it needs to be, y'all let that be known, but you do it in a motivational way. You're not like clowning on the artist.
They don't talk over the middle of the song.
Exactly. They don't talk over the middle of the song. They listen to your shit.
Off, man.
And then when you're ready, or when you're ready for certain opportunities, y'all help provide those opportunities and help line it up. And it really is a beautiful thing. And it's been very rejuvenating for writer's block. I can say I've told Max about it. Max has gotten involved in it. It's just an area where, I don't know, you just feel... You don't have to put on a front as an artist or anything. You just show up as you are. You can get told what you're not doing right, but in a polite way. and you connect with other artists who are doing their thing and some artists who are growing, and it's just a beautiful ecosystem.
I'll say this too is like,
Appreciate that.
I come from a background of people that are just, they do different things, so they think a little bit different than me as a creative. And like, this is what I love about Blaine too when I first met him, because there's like a connection of people, like-minded people, that it just makes you feel much more comfortable in being an artist. And the same thing happened when I met all y'all guys and submitted the music and did the whole thing. So it was dope.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, seriously, I don't take it lightly. So thank you guys very much. I was trying to do like a kind of half corny plug right there.
No, it was smooth.
wasn't fishing for compliments.
But
so
the thing
thank you.
is like when you plug. That's
smooth.
the thing. When you plug things that have genuine value and shit like that, it's not just like a quick little ad or something. It's like, yo, this is genuine. This could potentially change your life. I mean, y'all were a factor. We were gonna move. We were planning on moving here anyway because of our production team and what we've been working on. But as we connected with y'all and then y'all were here, it was like, oh, we got to make this happen faster. So it's like what y'all are providing is a lot of confirmation for artists, and it's just a genuine place to go and to grow. Even if you're just starting out, you can go there and still feel comfortable to share your shit, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's dope.
I appreciate that, man. It's crazy that it's pretty much only 1 year old, and I think by March we'll have 15 artists from the community that will have moved to Nashville.
That's
it's
nuts.
really a real community that's strength in quality of numbers, not quantity. We're not trying to go on TikTok lives, having people pay $50 for us to listen to 30 seconds or have 10,000 viewers at a time. We just want people to be like, yo, it is a fucking hard journey to be an artist. It's overwhelming and it can feel lonely. Here's a safe space. Come hang out, get feedback, tap in, get rejuvenated. I love how you say like it gives you that jolt. Like you're not coming here for the solutions. We're not going to make you a superstar overnight, but we are going to hopefully prevent burnout. We are hopefully going to help give some honest feedback. And as you said, opportunities, hopefully when the timing's right, we can help provide. But yeah.
I want to say something. I want to kind of be vulnerable here and say something very genuine about it. Is like, we kept submitting songs. And for so long, like when you feel like, oh, I'm making music at this certain level, you're like, you feel like it's dope, but you're still looking for, what's the word I'm looking for?
Validation.
You're still looking for validation. No matter what kind of music you're making as an artist, you're still feeling vulnerable. You want the validation. Yeah. And I'll say we started submitting our songs and y'all started giving us the validation. And then one time we submit a song and y'all gave us, you told us the song was dope and everything, but you were like, hey bro, like the shit is dope. No one can tell y'all how to be a better writer's block. Like just keep doing it. And in that moment, it healed a wound for me where I was like I had already realized, okay, Tim thinks it's dope. Kilmer thinks it's dope. That's cool. Like, and I was kind of like, my ego was almost charging off of it. And then when you told me that, it was like, I don't need anyone else to just like,
no,
fucking, glaze me about the music. I know that it's dope. Now, like, I don't know how to explain it fully, but for me, it did so much. It was healing because it was like, you were just like, bro, like, basically like, what do you want me to tell you about the song? Like, it's a dope song. What do you want me to say? And it was like, okay, cool. I don't need more external validation.
And that's why, to me, like those first two steps that I talked about, you got to get good at making good enough music efficiently. And the second one, you got to get good at making good enough content efficiently. And then the sky's the limit on the way to monetize. To me, it's really fun to help artists get to both of those first two steps. And then from there, it's up to the wild, wild west. But like with you guys, it was like, man, in just the year of listening to y'all's music, it's like the music's not going to be the problem. Y'all got it. The only thing you got to do is double down on who are you guys as individuals and as a collective. Now let's make sure that we get efficient with good types of content and show people the dope music and the dope people that you are. And then the year from now, we'll sit down and do this. And it's going to be like, all right, now we're up to the million ways to monetize. Let's go. Yeah.
Facts.
So it's really cool to see that. But like, I appreciate you saying that. And it's also really funny just how naturally things like that happen. Because that's, even though I think I'd gotten to meet you at least twice in person at the HQ before that stream, listening to Jay Griff on one of those live reviews.
That was so fucking wild, bro.
That was amazing.
That was wild.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
the
what?
The backstory is Max submitted a song to Tackler, TACLR, the Artist Community Live Review, and like right after the song, Jay Griff was like, "Man, you need to meet writer's block." And Max was like, "I live with writer's block." And I think they thought at first you were
Yeah.
saying like, you know,
I live with writer's block.
You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mental
I
condition of
suffer
writer's
from it.
block. And he was like, "Nah."
Sweet.
One thing I really want to know is like, it's a simple question, but it's not at the same time. Like, you've been in this game for a while. Like, what keeps you in it? / like, why do you love music so much?
It's fascinating. I think that's a great question, man. I think I loved music in the beginning because of that like therapeutic thing. Like I'm as a freshman in college, you're going through a shit ton of firsts of like missing your high school guy friends, going from being the big shot senior in a small school to a nobody.
Yep.
I wanted to walk on to play basketball and didn't make it and get cut, rejection. Like all of that is just a lot. So I smoked a lot of weed and listened to a lot of music and wanted to share it with my friends because that's part of the beauty of music. When you find something you love, it's emotional. You want to share it with people you love. That's what got me in it. What keeps me in it is not actually the love for music. It's the love for people. Like I really fucking love people. I'm a curious person and I resonate with artists on a way that not many people can. As an entrepreneur that's like a passion entrepreneur, but not driven by money, I kind of know what it feels like to be failing and losing every single day. I know what it feels like to think you're hot shit and you're going to be the next big thing tomorrow because of an opportunity. And then the next day you're getting sued or a song gets taken down or like, I know what those highs and lows and the roller coasters and the feeling of like family thinking you're crazy and you can't pay bills at times, like that all resonates with me. And I never really got along with entrepreneurs because they were so much driven by money, recognition, accolades and stuff that just didn't. Yeah, just didn't for me. And then the other part that keeps me in it is like, it is a selfish piece of it that like, I compare to when people say, like going to volunteer at a soup kitchen or something like that. Like when you leave, you feel so
better.
good about yourself.
Yeah, you feel great.
Like you just feel really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like that's why you should volunteer at a soup kitchen, but it is something like when I sold my first business, and I was only 25 years old, I had an identity crisis that my mom is now going through at 65, where it's the first time where you don't have a job, you don't have a title. Like it's a very weird feeling. And I tried to do the go find myself in nature and rent an RV and go travel around to state parks and like, who am I type shit. But like when you're lost, sitting by yourself and continuing to ask yourself who you are doesn't fucking help. But like going out to just bring value to other people, slowly you start to learn things about yourself and you start to learn things about other people and what you like. And like for me, as somebody that's gotten to win awards, make money, and do things that I never was anticipating, I can tell you that it is 100 times more fulfilling for me to watch my friends win those awards, win that money, and do that shit. And like, I'm not saying I'm not grateful that I have the stuff that I have and that I've been able to do it, but like, it didn't help me at all. It didn't help me in my journey for happiness and my journey for wanting to be fulfilled, wanting to be a good man, friend, partner. And really helping others was like, man, this shit's dope. Like sometimes it's dope just to put my friends in a text and then I don't talk to either of them for 2 or 3 months. And I open up Spotify and I see they did a song together. And I'm like, fuck
cool
yes.
shit.
And then I call one of them. They're like, dude, he's my best friend. He was just here last week. We went water skiing. I'm like, dude, this is it. Like that shit is amazing. And it also to me, I know this is a long-winded answer for it, but it also to me, it's one of those that like, I think it's very rare to find truly like altruistic and like very genuine people in the entertainment industry. I think there's so many people that are in it because they think if they can find talent, they know how to monetize, they know how to make them the biggest, they know whatever. But like, they don't stop to first say like, yo, let's do personal development before artist development. Like, let's fucking figure out who you are as a person before we even try to figure out what the sound of the music is. Like, we got to figure out, what are your insecurities? What are you kind of cocky about? What do you like to do? What don't you like to do? Like, if we can get to the bottom of that, this music shit's going to be the easy part. I can get you in the
Yeah.
room with the right people.
Yeah.
But chances are you're not ready to be in that room because that guy knows exactly who he is, and he's going to sniff that you got no idea who you are. Versus people in the music industry find the kid on TikTok. Hey, he doesn't need to know who he is. I'll monetize the shit out of him for the next 2 years.
Matter of fact, we can pimp him out because he doesn't know who he is.
Exactly. And he'll do whatever we say. And then he's going to wonder in 3 years why he's got a coke problem and we dropped him and he can't release music.
Yeah. I feel like I was like, when I started the first good like 3 years, 2 years, my ego was so big. I thought I didn't need to do anything else because my music was the shit. But like the more you just continue to make the music, put it out, and people will kind of don't react to it. So it's kind of like, it teaches you like there's more to this shit.
Yeah, I feel like my most important role that I played on other teams, because like obviously my four focus is, writer's block and personal development on my end. But I've worked on a lot of artist teams, and I feel like the biggest thing that I bring to it is I have conversations of personal development.
Yeah.
I think Max and I, like, that's why we have the relationship that we do now, is because we figured out more about like how I could help you as a person and who you were as a person and how to tap into that. And that ends up being most of my calls on the teams that I work with, is the artists hitting me up and us talking about personal issues and everything. But it, like you said, it feeds into everything else because you figure out what kind of person you are and what you really value. And then that's where you can help people, is finding out what you value. Like the soup kitchen thing. If you value being able to help feed people who are having a tough time right now, well, you know how you can bring value to things, and you know that people are going to get value from it. And so, yeah.
And you're about 10 years ahead of every artist, because like we talk about it on the podcast with V Wills. It's for the artist community coming out this week, about why we think him and Mike got along so well. And like Mike's so protective of features. He doesn't do that with other artists. He hasn't for 10 years plus. Outside of skis, but that was still a while ago. But like, to me, it is one of those that's like, once you're having this success and you realize it's not the fully fulfilling, you realize like being the mentor and like bringing value and kind of coaching this other next generation on like happiness and the spirituality and all the shit that you did, that's not just the features. Victor was like young and open to that. He was like, I'm trying to learn meditating. Like, I don't need a feature from you, Mike. Can you teach me like the shit? How'd you get to this peaceful
how do
place?
I be a better person?
And like that was so fulfilling for Mike and makes the relationship better and does all that. But for you to know that like that's a value that you can bring. So many artists, when I talk to about how can you bring value to others, they just don't believe they have value that they can bring. They're like, I could do a feature for free for somebody. I'm like, you got time.
Yeah,
if you got time to call me for 2 hours to vent about your social media not working, you had 2 hours to go volunteer somewhere else. It doesn't have to be in the music industry.
Facts. And all these losses become so much more worth it whenever you can share with someone and you can help them kind of avoid that a little bit. Man, some of my favorite feelings as being an artist, like, it feels good when people love the music. I love that. When people connect with the music and they say it impacts their life, it's hard to compare anything to that. It brings a tear to my eye. But one of my favorite things is for like one of my little bros or something to hit me up, or little sis or anybody, or older bro or older whatever, and to hit me up and be able to talk them through something, or for them to say, "Hey, bro, that information you shared with me like 6 months ago, it just really helped me out."
Yeah.
Like, there's no amount of dollars I could put on that shit.
Facts.
It's like to know that you actually have impact on people as they're trying to make the best for themselves. It's like I could die today and know and be happy because I know I've had impact on the lives around me and the quality of life that they've had. And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be in my ego and take credit for it. But it's like just the fact that I can be a part of those people's path, it validates the hard lessons I've had to learn.
Playing a part versus saying you were the solution or the reason are two very different things with ego. Acknowledging that you can have an impact with somebody else and be a part of a team or part of a bigger picture is 100% you should. Because if you don't, then you end up getting walked over. You end up also living just as blind as the person with all the ego. Like you should feel proud of that. And the only time when somebody like me will slap you back down is when you think it's all due to you.
Yeah. I made this. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is a team. But like I love that about you. Like even before you guys had officially moved here, when you were calling me with like the car's having troubles, like when's the right time to move there? Like, hey, I just need somebody to talk through the pros and cons of this current situation. And that to me has been everything. That's why I've been lucky enough to go to some A-listers' weddings or be godsons of famous people's kids or all this shit. It's not because I'm a good producer, I'm a good artist. I don't know what a fucking note is. I don't know what a knob does in a studio. Like I don't know shit, but what I do know is I'll show up for you when you need me to talk to you about real stuff. And I'm not going to be afraid to be a bearer of bad news. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff for you when like life gets hard. So be like, yo, I'm going to sit in the mud with you. That sucks, bro. That's terrible. Do you want to sit in the mud, or do we want to figure out what's in our control that we can do to try to start fixing it? Because sometimes you need to sit in it, acknowledge it, be present. But I'm also going to be there and be like, until you're ready to take the next step forward, I'm not going to sit in this with you for the next 3 months. Baby steps.
Well said.
Yep.
We'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah. Any final touches on artists making content, people that maybe want to be in a similar role as you making content, and how they can reach out, or anything along those lines that you just want to say about content, artist development, human development?
I think everything takes a village. Content is one of the easiest things to think that you should be able to do it all on your own. Surround yourself, whether it's friends, whether it's a dude. The difference between the person holding the camera or an iPhone being your boy who can make you laugh versus paying somebody $100 that you don't have and you're overthinking how to do it. Like, do it for free, do it with people you love, just get consistent at it and try to look at it the same way of like, I know it's not going to be the same as the music, but it should feel like this is a fun thing to get to do. I love my music. I love what I'm doing. If I'm going to create content, I'm going to enjoy it. And the last part is algorithms do exist. This is for awareness. If you're not willing to play the game of the hooks at the beginning, of playing into the algorithm, do not waste your time. Don't just stand in the street with a mic and think that that's going to be the thing that's going to blow up. You're wasting your time. Go make more songs.
But I do have one more question. But bro, I'm an artist. I make music. I don't want to make content. I don't want to do all this other stuff. I don't want to be on social media. But I want to make it. Like, I'm gonna just make it off the music.
So here's a great example of that. But it's also why it takes a village. There's an artist that I know right now that's upcoming, and I think he's amazing. He hates everything about content, never wants to shoot it. He wants to just live in the studio. So I told him, well, his quote-unquote manager, because the managers, that's a whole nother topic I'd love to talk to y'all about. But like finding that partner that's like, all right, the goal of that manager should be, what does this artist love to do? How do I get the most out of it? What does he not love to do? And what can I help with? And what are we going to forget about? And if he loves being in the studio and he's in the studio 12 hours a day, that manager better be setting up 2 or 3 cameras in that studio, Twitch live stream that shit, fucking download all of that, create clips from that, and you post it as the manager. Because if he's that good and he's in the studio and he's being consistent there, don't pull him out of there to make
all
him
you got to
do
do
the
is
content.
document the magic.
That's content right there.
Yep.
Now, granted, is that manager going to be the one to edit it, clip it, and do that? Or is he going to be the one to find an intern that's going to get paid some of the managerial's percentage? Like, how you structure the deals and everything is great, but like, if you really believe that, then fine. But also means you're going to need a team. Like, or you're going to need to get creative in how people are going to discover you. Go into online forums. Go fucking be involved in the community. You don't need tons and millions of people to be listening to it. You get 1,000 people in your city to fucking rock with you. You can be making a living.
Yep. And if you do that, you're probably going to find somebody that's willing to be on the team.
Exactly. You start building some leverage. You start doing that. And people respect hard work. Somebody sees that you showed up on a Twitch stream for 30 days in a row with 0 viewers and you went live from the studio for 8 hours a day, I guarantee somebody's going to give you a shot versus somebody that just comes up, plays a demo, and is like, yo, will you be on my team? I got no followers, nothing yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, Tim, thank you, man.
Thank you guys, man.
Tim,
that was fun.
Thank you for being on the podcast, bro. Thanks for making the time. For all you independent artists or all you artists out there, or anyone who wants to be involved in the music business and helping artists grow, definitely go check out the artist community.
Yeah.
Definitely check out Grouped.
Yeah.
You know, start to figure out a way that you can have own media and that you can create spaces where you can reach all of the people who want to be reached. And that's what they're doing over at Grouped. Artist community is teaching you how to be able to be efficient with a membership. It's also, you know, teaching life skills and just connecting you with other artists that are trying to do the same shit. So it's a beautiful thing.
Some dope fucking people too.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate that, guys. I hope to be back on this podcast a lot.
sure.
So
We'll
this
think
was
about
awesome.
we'll think about
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say
yeah,
I don't know. I
know.
feel like I talked for an hour and 10 minutes out of that hour and 20.
That's what
But,
you can. Hey, that's what we wanted you here for, man.
Thank you.
We know we know when to shut up and listen.
Well, I very much appreciate both of you gentlemen, and I really liked
bro.
what you guys had to say. I thought,
Sweet.
yeah, it was very good feedback.
Likewise.
I love it.
Dope.
All right.
Y'all go check out the other episodes. We got some more episodes about specifically about content and artist development coming up.
And they're a lot better. They're a lot better than this one.
But yeah, man, we're excited. If y'all got any particular questions that you want us to start answering or asking guests, yeah, we're happy to do it. Just leave it in the comments or whatever. And yeah, hopefully we're providing some value and it's not just some dudes just talking shit. But regardless, I enjoy it.
Same.
So,
Yeah.
I don't
that's
care if
all that
nobody
matters.
is.
Yeah,
This
fuck
was
it.
a great use of my time.
It was
Fuck
fun.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.